Welcome to Besaved podcast episode 2. I'm with Charles Ewing, or Ewing. That's how the Americans pronounce it. I'll let a man introduce himself.
Yeah, Charles Ewing, you at it?
Okay, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Introduce yourself to my audience, to our audience, actually.
All right. Well, welcome, first of all. I appreciate the invitation. I'm excited to be here. This is an honor. I don't take this lightly.
Thank you.
So yeah, my name is Charles Ewing. I am a multimedia artist, executive director of the William H. Thomas Gallery, podcast producer on my own, and father, dad, believer,
I've never asked
husband.
I've never asked you how many kids you got.
I have 5 children, one grandson.
For real?
Yeah.
You a granddaddy?
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I should tell you, you've got very good genes.
Oh, give me that.
Yeah, you've got very good genes. Like you, and I think you eat well. Like, what's your diet like?
Halal first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so keep it halal. It could be better. I just really started incorporating meat back into it.
Okay.
I've been vegetarian for a long time.
Wow.
And just recently, last couple of years, I guess, started adding some lean proteins, some chicken, some beef, some lean beef, fish every now and again, some lamb. So,
Yeah.
but most of the time it's vegetables,
Nice.
and trying to cut down on the sweets.
On the sweets.
Yeah,
You got a sweet tooth?
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Pastries, man. Pastries get me.
The only thing that I notice you getting is Chipotle, especially when you're during Ramadan days.
Yeah.
I'll see men working with Chipotle,
Yeah.
for lectures. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things, man. So, for those who don't know, maybe overseas, Chipotle is a Mexican-style restaurant, fast food restaurant, but they cook really good food. It's really health conscious, free-range chicken, brown rice, vegetables. Hopefully the corn is non-GMO, but yeah, man, the bowl fill you up.
Yeah.
You got a pretty big appetite. All you really need is a bowl.
That's one dish from like one restaurant from South America that makes me kind of relate to my home food.
Yeah.
The brown rice,
Yeah.
the black beans. We call them cowpeas.
Cowpeas.
Yeah, cowpeas.
Right.
People here call them the black beans. We
Yeah.
call them cowpeas. In my native language, you call them nyemba.
Yamba.
Nyemba, yes.
So when I go, I'm gonna be like, I want to play the nyamba.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
Yeah.
one. The grandma will just love it, just like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he wants to play the nyemba.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, I just really got hip to not too long ago
Talk to me.
was the jollof. Jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and I've been eating. So it's a spot here in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Hoyo's restaurant. Hoyo's is a Somalian-based restaurant.
Oh.
So they do their fare, with a Somalian type, and then the other spot I go to is an Ethiopian spot right down the way. It's called Bistro 91, Flavor Bistro 91.
Nice.
And so they do this Ethiopian rub. So it's Americanized food.
Yeah.
The Hoyo's is more traditional. Bistro is more Americanized. But it gives you the flavors, So I know what to expect. Like when I go back to the motherland, I know what to expect. With that jollof, brother. Oh my goodness.
So you into spicy food too?
Oh, I burned my face off.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah,
I like
take it slow.
the Nigerian goat meat, the gosu soup with the
Uh-huh.
okra.
Man.
Man, every time I eat that, I feel my soul coming to one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you mind telling me about the art gallery, like what you do at the art gallery?
Yeah, so I am the director of the William H. Thomas Art Gallery. I said executive director, but that's Baba Shango Obadima.
Baba Shango.
Yeah.
You're so good about Baba Shango.
Baba Shango, yeah, peace to Baba Shango, respect.
Respect.
He's a Yoruba priest,
Oh, nice.
and he's born here in Columbus.
Oh, nice.
So he went over there and did his thing, and they was like, yeah, you're worthy. So he brought the Yoruba back. Matter of fact, we have a statue of Ogun out front.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And but yeah, so what I do there is basically I'm Baba Shango's hands. So we have these different initiatives that he set forward that he wants. He's an old man, he's an elder, And so he's asked me to do certain things like to make sure that the gallery moves into the next generation.
Nice.
So just a couple days ago, we had our first elementary school tour. So we had a bunch of second graders who came through, learned about the gallery, learned about some artists, and then we told them, about themselves. We let them know that they were the best part of all this, and without them, that none of this matters. And then, so we do things like reach out to the community, work with the community. Every year we host this festival called the African Village Arts Festival, which you got to come to this year.
I'll definitely come. I'll definitely show up. I'll definitely be there.
Come through, man, and bring some folks with you, because it's the African Village Arts Festival. We African Americans, we stolen Africans, and we've been here for generations. So what I want to do, and I'm actively trying to connect, is to make sure that we have a strong tie in our diaspora here in Columbus, that we all know each other, we know each other's missions. We ain't all gotta act like each other, we ain't all gotta dress like each other. That's not what it's about. But we all gotta know that we still brothers and sisters. We share the same struggle. I know sometimes a lot of folks from the diaspora come here and they think that they're gonna be looked at as a Nigerian, as a Zimbabwean,
Zambian.
And they get over here and they lumped in with the rest of us when in certain situations. So we want to make sure that we extend some the red carpet, that we let folks know that we here, and it's love, and it's honor, and it's respect, and we as African Americans are actively seeking to connect, and at the same time we have a history here that we want y'all to connect to, and we want y'all to learn, and we want y'all to know more and understand about, like we want to know more and understand about, because we share the same oppressor.
Exactly. We share this kind of same oppressor, and you remember when you told me to go to the library for the non-profit organization thing?
Yes.
So I was talking to the guy who was supposed to do, who was telling us about the non-profit organization. So I had a question for him. I'm like, I'm new to the US, right? And I might not know what a 9-year-old in America needs, but I might know what a 9-year-old in Africa needs. Right. But I want to link the two. Let's say the 9-year-old in Africa needs to learn about AI. Right. And the 9-year-old in America needs to learn about his background, his culture. Like how I always tell you, like people in Africa are so respectful. How to greet, how to respect elders. How to talk back to elderly people. All that. So I'm trying to build something that can intertwine the two.
And so that's what the gallery is for. So the gallery is that place where you could come and make that connection at. Because we do the same thing, like the African American needs AI as well. And so why not put everybody in the same room, and teach the same thing and exchange the same value. So while we're amplifying and making sure that the 9-year-old from Africa who understands how to treat elders passes that and set the example, set the tone. And that's not to say that the young brothers and sisters over here don't understand that as well, but just to reinforce that, to hammer that home, and to show that, this is really how we do things.
And there are certain skills like the kids in Africa that have have you ever seen a car that's made with wires? And soft wires and hard wires. Do you know how to make one of those?
I don't, but I've seen it. I've seen on, thanks to Instagram and things like that. Brothers over there making cars out of wood.
We grew up making 18-wheelers out of wires. 18-wheelers, So, what I say, we used whatever resource that we had. And chose to make fun of our childhood with what we had. It was so amazing. Man.
So we did the same thing.
With what?
It's called hip hop. It's called rap. It's called tap dance. It's called, you know what I'm saying? Because when we got over here, when our ancestors got over here, they took the drums. They took the djembe. So when it took the djembe, we started tap dancing, we started beatboxing, we started braiding, we started doing all these rhythmic things to still keep the language and the culture alive.
Oh yeah.
But back in the 70s and the early 80s, they started taking music out of schools, and you know, all we had was these old records. All we had was some cardboard. All we had was some thrown away spray paint cans. And you know, 50 plus years later, it's the #1 form of expression in the whole world. That's African American youth. Nice. So yeah, we did the same thing with music and culture, and we called it hip hop.
So what keeps you going? What's your morning routine like?
So my morning routine is, you know, if I'm given a morning, you know, I give thanks to our Father, to the Creator. Take a minute to try to, you know, just to recognize the fact that it's a gift and I have an opportunity that day. So I try to align my thoughts with those. Then I normally get up. My wife is up already with some coffee made, so I sit and we spend time together there. Then the children start to filter in, we get them ready for school, get them off to school. I normally drive them. And when I come back, I try to hit the gym. And then come back.
Back to because that was going to be my next question. Like, do you work out?
Yeah. So I'm trying to be more disciplined, more routine with it. But because some mornings is work. You know, some mornings I got to get up and I got work to do.
For sure.
You know, I got clients and the clients need their products, so I got to make sure they get them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I try to get to the gym, and then I do a lot of calisthenics. So I'm starting to get up there in the joints, you know, lifting heavy weights. You know, first of all, I ain't not a, you know, a very weight, you know, I don't look like the brothers from West Africa.
Oh yeah, the brothers from West Africa, big man. Yeah.
Chisel, man, like ugh.
Yeah.
So, but I do the calisthenics, trying to keep my wind up, and then I, you know, do a little bit of strength training, some body weight stuff, just enough to where if I gotta move something, I can move something.
I see. And how do you take care of your mental health?
How do I take care of my mental health?
Yeah, because you know what, before you go, I'll say something.
Yeah.
I've always seen this man happy with a smile on his face. I'll say it. And I actually want to know the secret behind it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I pray. Yeah.
I got it right,
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I pray. I pray. I'll just take a second and I try to move in gratitude and abundance. That's my goal.
Wow.
Is to move in gratitude and abundance. So everything, every interaction is an opportunity to give thanks. Whether I don't see the value in it in the moment, or if I do, if it could be viewed as like even a negative thing, it's still an opportunity to give thanks because so that's it. Not every day is of course we're human beings, so there's gonna be days where it don't work. You know what I'm saying? It don't, but still, it's to try. I'm still gonna give my effort to make sure that I move in gratitude and abundance, and then I'm privileged. I feel like I'm privileged for one to work here and work with people like you, because you bring a lot to the table as far as your attitude.
For real?
Yeah, man. Like, you make it easy to do this. You make it fun to do this. And if I had I wish I could copy and paste into somebody
like to what's the word? Where you clone?
Yes.
You wanna make some enemies?
Yes.
I'm already this phone.
But it's just your enthusiasm, your willingness to learn, your courage.
Thank you. Because
courage plays a big role in what we do. Because especially when you got a couple years on you, it's easy to get set in your ways and to say, well, I ain't got time, I don't want to learn that, I don't need to learn that. You start to, but you don't do that. You approach everything with this open mind, this open spirit, with this courage that I don't care if I fail the first time, I don't care if I fail the second time. I'm going to continue to keep going. I'm not going to get discouraged, and then I can see the confidence growing because that perseverance, you're learning. I mean, you're doing this.
Thank you.
And this is no small feat. This is huge. So, yeah, you make it easy. You and your classmates make it easy to come in and perform at a high level and to really to bring positive attitude because I'm being met with a positive attitude.
Thank you. That means a lot. Like I don't even know what to say. Humble.
Yeah, like you need to post, okay, so he played in, we did a zombie TV show a couple weeks ago, and Inesu plays a big role in it. He has a character, the character has character traits that he performs, and it's dope, and it's like, when I first met you, it didn't seem like that was the way that I could see you going, but you went that way, man, and you did a wonderful job.
I tried.
So that was, that's dope.
Oh, you say I shouldn't say I try. I do.
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
Whenever I get the chance to do, I do. Whenever I get the chance to ask, I ask.
Yes.
I don't stop asking. I ask every time I get a chance to ask.
Yep.
And you know, one thing that encouraged me about reaching out to you is whenever I say, hey, my Adobe is acting up, I need help with this, my laptop, you leave whatever you're doing. You don't think twice. Man, that gives me goosebumps. Like, there's only a few people who do that for others. Like, some of them like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'll come to you later, but you leave whatever you're doing, you close your laptop, then you say, what's the problem, my guy? I show you what the problem is, and you help out. Right there, look at this. I need you to do it yourself. You remember when you teach me how to edit, when we did all like first video, music video, and you teach me how to edit. On behalf of all the students that have passed through, Mr. Charles aka Professor Ewing.
Ewing, yes sir.
Aka Professor Ewing.
I gotta get an African name. I gotta get an African attribute, man, because that's that European thing. That's my pop's name. So.
You know what name I should give you? I think I'm gonna give you a name in my native language. I'm gonna call you Tatenda. Tatenda, yes, and Tatenda sounds good. You know what Tatenda means?
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you.
That's gratitude.
Yeah, so Charles Tatenda Ewing.
That's what I'm naming my record. Tatenda.
Tatenda. Siyabonga. Tatenda, yeah. So, yeah, gratitude all the time, always. What else was I gonna ask?
You're good at this, by the way. I just want you to know.
Thank you.
Questions are good questions. You're flowing in and out. You're doing a wonderful job.
I try, because I'm reading How to Win Friends. The book.
And influence people.
And influence people, yeah. And it told me one thing is, let people talk about their passion. You know, I see when you talk about yourself, you're happy. When you talk about when you're doing things that you're very passionate about, man, I've never seen, you're like a child, like a kid with a new toy.
Yeah.
And I like that. So I just put the ball in your court. You dribble. You make the threes.
There you go.
You do the layups.
Yeah.
I just put the ball in your court, you do your thing. I was gonna ask you about, now you made me forget my question. I was gonna ask you about, what is it? Besides us, being your students, right?
Yeah.
This is a question that I'm just forming in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Right. I'll phrase it like this. Do we like kids that want to listen, or we like mentors?
I said that.
Okay. Are we in short of mentors, or are we in short of people who want to learn?
I got you. That's a wonderful question. That's a great question, actually. That's a wonderful question. I think it's a little bit of both, and that's not even a cop-out answer. I think it's really a little bit of both. So, at least over here where I'm at, where I'm sitting, there's been a targeted effort to break up the black family. And I'm going there. Because this is the truth, and I'm just going to tell the truth. So there's been a targeted effort to break up, to splinter the black family. And it's been going on since so bringing back the history. The black family supported Marcus Garvey. The black family supported
Marcus Garvey.
The Black Star Line. It was families that were financing him. It was families that were financing Dr. King. It was families that were financing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. So J. Edgar Hoover said, In order to stop the rise of the Black Messiah, we have to splinter its foundation, the base, which is the Black family.
Yeah.
And so we end up getting crack, we end up getting heroin, we end up getting over-policed, we end up getting redlined, we end up getting our school systems being subpar. And what that does is, so the crack epidemic, this is start with the crack epidemic. The crack epidemic in America started in the late 80s, or the early 80s, and it moved all the way until 15 seconds ago. It's still going on. And one of the, so not only is there addiction, not only is there, there's crime that comes with it. So the music and the imagery will have you believe that it's lucrative and it made a lot of money and but I can promise you, it made more broken homes, it made more incarcerated men, it made more struggling single mothers, it made more mother-led homes, so you don't have man, woman, child in the home. So when you don't have man, woman, child in the home, you end up getting a situation where there's no guidance. It's a whole generation. So now we're 3 generations in, maybe 4 generations in. So you got parents that have children now that were raised by parents on crack or grandparents that had to take the place of those parents on crack. So what happens in that situation? You remove that center generation between that buffer between the child and the grandparent. So the child is supposed to learn from the parent. And then the parent, then the grandparent gets an opportunity to teach the child the things that the parent doesn't. And then there's a reverence that's built there. Well, when you remove that second generation, you have the children that are being raised by the grandparents. And then that reverence is missing because now the grandparents become the disciplinarians, they become the teachers. They're old, they're tired. That's not their role, that's not the natural order of things, that's not their position. So you get these parents who are raised without the tools to properly raise the children. And if the child isn't properly raised, how can you expect the parent then to properly elevate into the role of elder?
Yes.
And so it's getting better now because a lot of the parents, like a lot of the people in my generation who were, so I'm of the age where I was fortunate enough, so my father was in my life, my mother was strong, so I didn't have to go the crack route, but a lot of my peers did.
Blessed enough.
Yeah,
because that's a huge blessing.
I'm a grandparent now. I have my oldest daughter is 30. So she's right in that age where she's of that generation that missed that generation. You know, so to answer your question, I think it's easy to point a finger, but the children don't know because the parents don't know. The parents don't know because that's the way that, unfortunately, our time in the society has been constructed. And it's not an excuse, it's just the is. That's just the truth, and you don't have to take my word for it. And I encourage you not to take my word for it. I encourage you to go out and study and listen, and they'll tell you. It's COINTELPRO. Do your search on COINTELPRO. Go Google it. Go to the National Archive. Go to PBS. Go to CNN. It's documented. I'm not telling you anything where it's, this is my feeling on it. Yeah. All I'm doing is just telling you what the is was from being on the ground level.
I've got one more question. So kids growing up with parents that were involved in crack,
yes,
right? They also became resentful to their parents. So because when you see, let's say I see my father doing crack,
yes,
instead of taking care of me, instead of saving money to take me to school, to take me to college,
yes,
and he's just always high on crack every day,
yes,
I become resentful to him because if I see, and you kind of start seeing other men outside of your household as your role models more than your actual parents.
So who they ended up seeing as the role models were the drug dealers.
Nice
because
cars,
it was a drug, exactly.
fancy.
And then of course the young ladies want to be provided for. They want, that's just that's not even cultural, that's nature.
Wow.
So nature is going to guide the women to the one who's going to be able to provide them, and that would be the ones that they procreate with. And so not only do you have the children of the users who become fatherless and motherless, you have the children of the dealers who become fatherless and motherless. Because crack is enough rope to hang yourself with. They let them go long enough to build the cases against them. And if they're not murdered on the street, they get elevated to a point and they get taken off the board. They get put in jail, they get put in prison for years. And so it creates another void. So now you have the children of the dealers and the children of the users in the same position.
You know, I've never looked at it that way. You know, listening to 2 Chainz Free Base, it was like, I sold drugs to my loved ones. You know, the first time I saw a crack pipe was in my mother's kitchen. And I can think about it and say,
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're just vibing with it, like wherever you are in the world, in Australia, in Africa, like free base. But when you put it in that context, man, there's a whole lot of emotions to it. There's a whole lot of attachment to the actual society.
Yeah, and even the music, the music it plays a role. Now the music is a character in this play. Because now the music is what motivates the young folks to be like, yeah, let me go get it. When you see somebody who calling themselves the Snowman, get elevated, or you see the biggest mogul, the number one, quote unquote, number one rapper in the game, the billionaire, the one with the billionaire wife and the most, come from the drug game.
So you're saying, one thing that I got from this conversation is mentorship is based on who you want to follow. There's a proper successful businessman, a black businessman, to be more specific, who is not into drugs, who lives like a proper straightforward life, and there's the drug dealer, the crack dealer, right? And one youth who choose like, oh, I'm inspired with the crack dealer,
right.
And the other youth will be like, I'm not inspired with the guy who does a 9-to-5 or a guy who lives his life straightforward, is an accountant, is with a blue collar, white collar.
If you see him.
Yeah.
So if you have them in your circle.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember now, these neighborhoods aren't nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They aren't good neighborhoods because again, they don't have an economic foundation that's stable. They don't have home ownership because of redlining. Redlining means that the realtors are conspiring to put people who are ready for home ownership in certain neighborhoods. And it wasn't until recently that's even been called out. So it still happens. Like I've been redlined. And you know what I'm saying? So I was showed a house in Texas and the guy was like, I liked it, I was ready to make an offer. And by the time I got back to my apartment, he told me that somebody had already put in a bid. And I'm like, how does that happen? How does that happen?
Wait a minute.
So this is.
So you put in an offer, right? And then the realtor called you and said, somebody else made a bigger offer.
Or an offer period in the time it took, in the 45 minutes it took me to get from that place back to where I was living at the time. And so
so was this because of color?
Oh, it's 100%. It's 100%. So a lot of times when the professional blacks get money, they're not going to live in the impoverished neighborhoods. They're going to be, and if for no other reason than the schools. So when you have poverty in the neighborhood, you don't have home ownership. If you don't have home ownership, you don't have a tax base. If you don't have a tax base, you're not able to support schools to get good quality teachers, good quality education.
That's true.
So in order to get a good quality education, I have to move my family to a suburb that has that kind of education. And then you think about it like this too. School is a long-term play.
That's true.
Professionalism is a long-term play.
That's true.
Our young folks have been shown either doughboys or they've been shown professional athletes.
That's awesome.
So that disconnect is a real thing.
Yeah.
However, there are organizations like what we do at the gallery.
Yeah.
What happens with the brothers from the Nation of Islam? What happened with a lot of these churches? What the Divine Nine are doing? There's a lot of frats out there. I know
what Besaved is doing.
Yeah, what Besaved is doing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of organizations, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, 100 Black Men. It's more and more of an effort to reach in there and grab these young folks and move them out and show them a different part of life, and then equip, not only that, but equip them with the tools. So my uncle was a pastor, and he said one of the things that would happen to the kids is they would take them out of the hood for a day, show them a great day, and then drop them back off in the hood.
Wow.
And it created, you talking about resentment, so now they got a taste. They got exposed to it, but they can't have it. They have no pathway towards it.
Yeah.
So now it's about building those bridges, building those pathways. So there's a big word that's really come into the lexicon in the past few years, and it's called sustainability.
Wow.
Which means the ability to have it there consistently and in a form that's useful consistently. So providing that type of sustainability is one of the goals, is one of the things that we try to do, is one of the things that the brothers, fortunately, in my circle are doing, taking that word tryout, that we're doing with the gallery, that the brothers in our circle are doing in a time like, there's Mind out there. Mind is an organization, mental health, information, nature movement, and an environment which provides young people with tools to handle when things don't go their way. So now they're not only is it providing mentorship, but it's providing a process that they can walk through to help them get control of their mental health, and then start as a foundation for good decision making.
Okay, so my next question will be, how will we make this fashionable? How will we make the Gen Z like it? Like, okay, I aspire to be like Tatenda. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a vibe in the air. It's already started. It's already happening. The Creator has said that now is the time for us to be those things that we aspire towards, and to make and to move, like I said, in abundance and generosity and gratitude, to where we know that it's enough for everybody. I got enough time for my sons. I got enough time for someone else's son. So it's already going on. The fashionable part is, if you look, you see it. The kids are tired. They're tired of living like this. They're tired of being that. And a lot of things too, man. I think this is powerful. Is we have to properly label them.
Yeah.
Like I seen a video today of this group of young, beautiful Black girls who were graduating, and they was jumping around twerking. And my first impression was, that's ghetto. But then I think about it, they look like Watusi. They look like, they look like the Maasai. Because it's just the way that we express ourselves as Africans.
Yeah, that's true.
And let's label it properly. Let's put it in context.
That's true.
And then let's of course teach time and place and those sorts of things. But code of conduct. But to answer your question, long answer to a short question, it's happening. It's already fast.
You know what? I'm gonna cut this short. Thank you for being my co-host today. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate the offer. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to come and build with you and your audience.
So, are we gonna do a part 2?
We can.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll discuss about a part 2.
Yeah,
let's do a part 2.
I'm with it. And maybe, maybe you come on our platform. So
I will definitely come to you.
We have the Queen's Address Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, the Queen's Address Podcast on Instagram. And come check out the content. I think you would fit perfectly into what we're doing. And so man, then we can ask you questions about, about your walk.
I don't like to be interrogated.
But it's coming from love. It's coming from a place
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Where were you on the night of?
Oh, yeah. I'm not a snitch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.